Hey, mahal everyone. Welcome back again to the Broadway Saiyan YouTube channel. I am your host 40 and we are back with another video on Dissidia Final Fantasy Opera Omnia, focusing again on the global version of Opera Omnia. Guys, we saw the news in the game. We're getting in maintenance very soon, which means that Chapter 10 is just around the corner, and I believe it's going to be Chapter 10 because the last lost chapters we received are prerequisites to be able to unlock the certain gates within Chapter 10. So Chapter 10 is definitely going to be the next piece of content that we're going to be seeing. So let's get right into what Chapter 10 is all about. So the story continues. So that's right, we're going to be getting more quests, more side quests. We're going to be seeing some cool bosses. FF8's disciplinary committee joins the cast. So Cypher, Fujin, and Reijin are going to be joining us finally. I like calling them the Three Stooges of Final Fantasy VIII because, or they're kind of like Team Rocket in a sense. They're not really villains, but they're just annoying, but they're lovable. They have things that everybody loves about them. Definitely more gems to earn from the achievement, so this is a great opportunity for especially free-to-play players or players that don't spend too much on the game to earn some more gems, either to save up for banners that are going to be coming out later in the future, or even to summon on the banner that's going to be coming out for this chapter. And then we're going to be getting a new weapon summon banner that's going to be focused on the FF8 disciplinary committee. So let's go ahead and dive right into each of these characters to see what they're all about. So we got Reijin first. He's going to be a Yellow Crystal affiliated unit. He's melee DPS focused on thunder-based attacks. He has a high attack and max brave. His first ability is called Fist. It also has a plus version called Fist Plus. It's going to be a one-hit melee brave attack. It also gives him an attack up, a small attack up self buff for 2 turns. The plus version essentially is a harder hitting version. It does require his Thunder Stance. His second ability is called Secret Art Dragon Rising. He also has a plus version of it. So this is going to be a 2-hit thunder melee brave plus HP attack. This one will also give him a small max brave up self buff to himself and gives him that Thunder Stance for 3 turns because the plus version does require that Thunder Stance, and the Thunder Stance will also change his Brave Attack into Brave Attack Plus, which is a one-hit thunder melee brave attack that requires Thunder Stance. His partner, Fujin, is a green crystal affiliated unit. She focuses on range DPS with wind-based attacks. She excels in high speed, initial brave, and max brave. Her ability 1 is called Annihilate. There is a plus version to it too. It is a one-hit ranged AoE brave attack with a small speed up self buff for herself for 3 turns. And again, the plus version hits harder and requires wind stance. Her second ability is called Pulverize. It also has a Pulverize plus. So this is going to be a 2-hit wind melee brave plus HP attack. It also grants her a small attack up self buff and her wind stance for 3 turns. The plus version of the ability requires the wind stance. And then her brave attack is also changed to Brave Attack Plus, which is going to be a one-hit range brave attack that has a wind element attached to it. And again, it does require the wind stance. So Fujin and Reijin, they're very similar. It's just that one specializes in like high speed and range and the wind element, and then the other one is like straight up, I'm gonna get in your face and shock you with thunder elemental attack. So they're very similar if you take a look at them here. And then the last character, which is arguably probably everybody's favorite amongst these 3, is going to be Cypher, Squall's rival. He's going to be affiliated with the Red Crystal. He is actually a ranged DPS unit, and it's going to show with his abilities when we cover them. So he debuffs the enemy's max brave, and he also hits harder when enemies are debuffed, and he has a high defense and max brave. So he's very similar to Seymour in that he hits harder against debuffed enemies. His first ability is called No Mercy, so this is going to give him a one-hit wind ranged AoE brave attack. It also deals more damage to debuff targets. And then his second ability is Bloodfest, so this is going to be a 2-hit ranged AoE brave plus HP attack. The HP damage on this one is going to be divided amongst targets, so he's going to be our 4th character who has this mechanic where he equally divides the HP damage that he deals. He also has that low chance to inflict that small max brave down for 3 turns, and again, he deals more damage to debuff targets. So he's definitely going to be specializing in AoE damage, so that is Cypher right there. Now, I'm not going to be giving much of an opinion on what I feel about these characters because I do want to cover that for another video that I'm currently working on, so I'll give you guys my opinion on what I feel about these 3 characters. So those are the 3 characters, the FF8's Disciplinary Committee. So the Weapon Summon banner is going to be featuring all 3 of these characters, 35 CP, and all of their 15 CP, so essentially 6 new weapons to pull for. The first one being 35 CP Imperial for Cypher. So his Bloodfest is going to get a damage output increase, as well as dealing more damage now when you use the ability on just one target. So it gives him that specialty of being essentially, let's say, a boss killer, because he's going to be dealing more damage against a single target enemy, and usually boss fights are usually just a single target, although sometimes there will be more than one target. He also has now a higher chance to inflict that max brave down debuff. It's also going to have its potency increased and the duration extended, and now Cypher also self-buffs himself for a small max brave up for 6 turns. He's going to have his 15 CP Hyperion available in this banner as well, so his No Mercy is going to have a damage output increase, as well as dealing more damage again when there is only one target. So it's also going to be giving him a medium chance to inflict small attack down now for 6 turns. So it makes him, definitely having both of his weapons makes him more versatile, because he is normally an AoE target unit, but now he also will be dealing more damage to single targets, so it makes him more versatile. So the next weapon we have is 35 CP Dazzling Moon Ring for Fujin. So her Pulverize and Pulverize Plus is going to be getting a damage output increase. She's also going to be inflicting a Wind Imperil for 4 turns, which helps her out greatly because her attacks are wind based. That attack up self buff that she gives to herself is going to have a potency increase as well as a duration extension, and then her wind stance is also going to be receiving a duration extension with this 35 CP weapon. The next weapon we're going to be seeing is 15 CP Fujin's Chakram. So her Annihilate and Annihilate Plus is going to have a damage output increase. The damage up is also going to be there when there's only one target, so she gets that because her ability 1 is an AoE ability. And then that speed up self buff is going to get a potency increase, a duration extension, and this time it's actually going to be granted to all allies, so that's pretty cool. She gives every ally a speed up. The 35 CP Iron Crush bar for Reijin is going to be increasing the damage output for his second ability, Secret Art Dragon Rising, and the plus version of it. It's also going to be lowering the action delay. He's also going to be inflicting a Thunder Imperil for 4 turns, so we have another Thunder Imperil unit. The max Brave Up self up that he grants himself will have a potency increase and also a duration extension, as well as a duration extension for his Thunder Stance. And then finally, his 15 CP Raijin's Club is going to be increasing the damage output for his Fist and Fist Plus ability. It's also going to be lowering the action delay. That attack up self buff is going to have a potency increase, a duration extension, and just like Fujin 15 CP, it's going to be granted now to all allies. So what are my thoughts on this banner? Well, if you actually take a look at it with all of the, let's say you pull all of these weapons. Technically, all 3 of these characters can kind of work together, and it kind of makes sense because, you know, they were always together in the game. However, does this really add any value? Let's say if you're a free-to-play player, or even if you're a veteran player, what do we already currently have in the global version of the game? We already have strong DPS units. We already have strong support units to choose from. And essentially, all of these characters are DPS units, one specializing in one thing, the other specializing in this. So they're cool, but I don't really feel like this is a must pull. Also, later on down the line, these characters will be getting a level 60 awakening, so even if you do pass on this banner, you will have another chance to pull for these weapons later on. So my suggestion is, if you're free to play or you're saving up your gems or spending only on certain banners, my suggestion is just to pass. But if you like these characters, then pull to your heart's content. All right, and the last thing I want to cover for this Chapter 10 overview is Ultima the High Seraph is actually going to be the final boss, and the highlighted boss that I wanted to focus on. So this Ultima the High Seraph is the one from Final Fantasy 12. At least that's the sprite that they're using for it, or the character model they're using. So this boss has a chase HP value of 40, is also weak to dark and resistance to holy. It's the first boss who we are going to be facing that prohibits the usage of your summons. That's right, so when you go up against this boss, you can't use your summon. So it's definitely best to summon on the stage prior or when you're about to clear that, because yeah, you can't summon on this boss. It utilizes holy based attacks. It completely restores its HP once when you almost completely deplete its HP or deal it a massive amount of HP damage. Its paranormal field, which is essentially its blessing, because this is like we're fighting another enemy summon, inflicts a cycle of status ailments, and the cycle of status ailments follow this order. So it's poison, turn rate down, and then paralysis. However, the paralysis only starts to be added to the cycle when Ultima's HP is lower than 50%. So if it's 50% or greater, you ain't gonna be worrying about that paralysis. And then Ultima also uses an AoE attack that removes non-frame buffs. So this is the boss that we are going to be facing for Chapter 10. Alright guys, so I do want to show you some gameplay, at least combating against Ultima for my JP account from Chapter 10. I'll also be showcasing the 3 characters that we're going to be getting. So let's go ahead and take a look at that gameplay for the upcoming content, Chapter 10 for the global version of Dissidia Opera Omnia. Alrighty guys, well here we are with my JP account. I'm going to be showcasing you guys a little bit of features, or a showcase of Chapter 10 essentially, what we're going to be seeing in Global. Again, this is just a showcase, so I'm not telling you guys how to clear anything or things like that. I just want to show you guys something just to get you guys hyped for the upcoming content. So Chapter 10 is right there in that little island. I'm hovering over it right now with my airship. So we're going to go ahead and enter. And I'll give you guys a little overview of the map. So this is the map right here. At the bottom right there, we have some sort of like a lost city, ruins. Above it, we have like a green area with a little bit of ruins as well. And then right over here, kind of interesting, but it looks like a flower field. And this is definitely paying homage to Final Fantasy VIII, because you know, Final Fantasy VIII, there's the flower field and all that. So that's pretty cool. So we're going to be taking on the final boss on normal, which is the Ultima High Seraph. So that is her statistics right there. Okay. And let's see, who do I want to take? Actually, you know what? Let's take Sephiroth. Why not? We know we're getting him next as a character event, so we're going to take him. And yes, I'm going to be using his EX abilities and all that, so at least those of you who are Sephiroth fans have something to look forward to, since I know there's a lot of you guys that are going to be pulling for him when he comes out. But that is Fujin's AoE ability, her Annihilate here. And then this is Cypher. His No Mercy, so it is an AoE attack. And then with Reijin, let's go ahead and take a look at his fist. Okay. And then we're gonna go ahead and use Sephiroth's Bloodfest. So it is an AoE Brave plus HP attack, and the HP damage is divided. Alright, so we're on stage 2. So again, we're going to go ahead and use Fujin's Annihilate. And then we're going to go ahead and use No Mercy with Cypher. And we went ahead and inflict... we got the debuff off because I do have the passive for that. And then let's see, for Reijin, let's take a look at his second ability, his Secret Art Dragon Rising. There we go. So now he has his Thunder Stance, so you see that electricity surrounding him. And then let's take a look at Fujin's. Her Pulverize. There you go, and now she has that wind surrounding her because she does have that buff. The wind stance. Alright, and let's go ahead and use Cypher's Bloodfest again. Let's see here. Okay, so we have the Brave Attack Pluses available now to both Fujin and Reijin, so we're gonna let them do some work here. So we're almost to the boss. We got a few more stages here. So the mid-boss is going to be a Holy Dragon. Pretty straightforward boss here. And remember, because this is a single enemy, Cypher will be doing more damage. So it's actually here. Let's go ahead and use his Bloodfest. All right. And this is the plus version of the Secret Art Dragon Rising. Let's go ahead and use No Mercy. I like the animation of No Mercy. It really reminds me of the animations that he used in Final Fantasy VIII. And something to note, the reason why I say these three characters can somewhat synergize with each other too is also because, remember, Cypher deals more damage to debuff targets. So that Imperil, if you happen to have Fujin or Raijin's 35 CP, actually helps Cypher out because it helps him deal more damage since it's considered a debuff. So something to keep note of. Alright, so this boss is pretty much good. I'm just gonna HP attack here. We could probably finish him off next turn. Go. Alright, so remember, because we know Ultima the High Seraph silences your summon, we're gonna time it to where we're gonna summon like as soon as we know that we're about to finish off this round here, because we won't be able to summon the next round or against Ultima. She silences us, so she silences the summon at least. Okay, let's hit the Ramza mannequin. Then we're gonna go ahead and use Bloodfest. Alright, so now would probably be a good time to summon. Yeah, we're gonna summon here. Alright, so here we go. We're gonna be facing off against Ultima, the High Seraph. Ooh, look at that. Very, very nice entrance for the final boss. Very cool. Alright. So, as you can see, normally, so what you would normally see when this fight starts, if you didn't summon, is that icon for Ifrit, whoever summon you're using, is going to be silenced. You can't use it. But because we did summon already, we bypassed that. Alright, and now we're going to go ahead and use Bloodfest. And this might be a time to bring in our pal Sephiroth, since I don't have these characters fully maxed out. So, yeah, let's see our boy Sephiroth in action. So he's going to make quick work of this boss, guaranteed. And watch, she's going to restore. So when she's, like, at low health, she restores herself. She restores herself once her health all the way up. So something to keep in mind again. Alright, and this is the paranormic field that I was talking about that cycles out through different debuffs. So we are going to actually use this ability with Sephiroth. Okay, so this boss is about to go down, especially because we have Sephiroth on our side. And you can see right there, she silenced the summon. So you can see that the summon has been silenced right there. So if I didn't use Ifrit during that last round, I wouldn't be able to use him here. And let's go ahead and take a look at Sephiroth's EX, for those of you guys that want to see something cool. And there we go. So he summons Supernova, his signature attack with Black Materia. But yeah, guys, that is going to be the gameplay footage showcase for the upcoming Chapter 10 for the global version of the game. Again, hopefully you guys are hyped for this. I'm always excited for new content when it comes to Dissidia, Opera Omnia. So very, very cool. Thank you again, Square Enix, for everything that you do. Once again, I am 40 the Broadway saying stay tuned for the next video, and mahal, everyone.